this hard-left Melbourne local councillor, bloke by the name of James Conlan. He's a former Green, he's now an independent, and his pathetic response to a local Jewish resident, a young mother who fears being identified in her own suburb. This is appalling. But typical of two-bit local politicians, especially from inner-city councils like Merri-Bek, they are agenda-driven, more interested in trying to insert themselves into global politics rather than picking up rubbish and fixing the roads. But this from Conlan is worse. The context here: the local Jewish mum, who shouldn't ever feel threatened in her own suburb, inside her own home, in fact, writes to the local councillor, Conlan. She made the point, every time she leaves home, she's on high alert. She points out that the main road in Brunswick, which is the suburb where she lives, Sydney Road, is filled with posters supporting pro-Palestinian rallies. She's taken down a Hebrew parchment from on her front door, and she's desperately upgrading her security systems. Now, this is Australia 2024, and as we saw in Josh Frydenberg's outstanding documentary on Sky last week, anti-Semitism is running in this country out of control. We just saw Chris and Shari talking about it. So what does Conlan, this two-bit local government member of the council, do? What does he do in reply? You won't, well, maybe you will. You won't believe it. He says, quote, this is Conlan, "I'm losing patience in trying to understand how opposing a genocide is so complicated for some parts of the community," end of quote. In other words, what are you complaining about? What a jerk he is. But it gets worse. He's posted a lengthy response in reply to the reporting about all of this. I should point out, before going further, that his council, Merri-Bek, was one of the first councils in Australia to pass a motion supporting the people of Gaza, and they even voted to fly the Palestinian flag outside the council chamber. But back to Conlan and his reply to someone he is supposed to represent. Now, his constituent complained about anti-Jewish rallies supporting Palestine and calling for the elimination of Israel. Conlan tries to argue this, and he says, quote, "I'd like to point out some blatant lies in your email. I've been to many pro-Palestinian rallies, and the suggestion that those people are calling for the extermination of the Jews is absolutely offensively wrong and a complete fabrication." He goes on, "These lies circulating in the media have been systematically disproven and shown to be a deliberate attempt by the Zionists to discredit peaceful demonstrations calling for peace and an end to genocide." Now, has this guy Conlan heard the chants from the river to the sea, or has he missed the anti-Jewish slogans smeared on schools and synagogues? Has he not seen the Star of David stickers slapped on Jewish businesses in his own council area? Did he miss the disruptive, threatening university camps or the anti-Jewish rantings in various mosques around the nation? The rally yesterday, dumping rubble in the middle of a major intersection in Melbourne? Now, this bloke needs to stick to his knitting. He's a minor suburban seat warmer who's turned into a nasty piece of work attacking a resident who pays the council salary. I won't be holding my breath, though.